Dealing more damage and allowing our characters to blitz through enemies is the name of the game. Whether you call it min-maxing or you just want to see a bigger number on screen, this is why we play these games. So today we got a video for y'all that is going to bring y'all a weapon that is going to enable several of your characters to not only deal way more damage, but it's going to enable some of them to not only deal way more damage, but also deal it a lot faster than they normally would. With that said, what's good, guys? It's your boy CJ, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we got to talk about this very interesting weapon. I've been meaning to make a video on this for about a week now. I did some testing on stream like about a week ago, and I just haven't had the time to bring this video out. I've been doing so many other videos, but now we got a little bit of time, so we're going to talk about this now. This weapon is one of the most random, interesting weapons in the game, and when you first look at it, you might not think this is actually that interesting, and when you even see it shoot, you might actually think this kind of sucks. Let's actually show you guys what it is that we're talking about. So as you can see, yeah, we're talking about the saw blade shooter, the pizza cutter. Now, why I think this weapon is so cool is because, like I said, it's going to enable some of your characters to burst out that damage incredibly fast. So let's go ahead and actually take a look. The weapon is the Gyutsu Ratchet, and at first look, you might not notice it. So let's talk about what it actually does. First off, it's going to offer you 62.5% crit damage. When its projectiles hit enemies or the environment, they split into 2 additional projectiles that continue to travel. After switching to this weapon, increases multi-shot by 38%, which decreases over time. This effect can only be triggered once every 10 seconds and is removed when switching to another weapon. Now, when you look at that, it doesn't really sound like it's too crazy now, does it? So let me just show you real quick how this thing really shoots. You guys are seeing all the saw blades kind of going off, looking crazy. And I know a lot of people, why am I just walking like that? What the hell, boy? But anyway, you guys saw how it shoots. It's pretty damn weird, right? So what is it that makes this weapon so interesting? And you guys saw the beginning clips, and you can kind of understand that there is some going on, right? So let's talk about my build first, so you guys kind of have an idea of what it is that we're working with. So this is my build, and by no means this is the most optimized build out there. I want to clarify that just so you guys don't think this is the absolute best. And also keep in mind that I can actually dupe up the weapon and do even more with what its function is supposed to be, as well as I can do more for my Lin and do even more damage, because a lot of my characters are not mid-maxed because I have to work on so many different characters and so many different things to get out more videos. Now, let's talk about its stats. Let's break that down in the most simplest way. What you want to have on here, right, to make it work perfectly is going to be multi-shot, right? Getting a little bit more mag capacity, a little bit more max ammo. I like some reload speed, some attack speed, and there's also one thing that you will see here in my wedges that is not shown right here. So now let's talk about the wedges. First off, we have Lilith's Rain of Quivers, which is going to give us some really nice multi-shot, and the damage that is decreased doesn't really matter because you're not dealing damage with the weapon, but it does give us a truckload of multi-shot. Then we have Fold Over for even more multi-shot, and this is just +5, so you can get a purple one here and you'll be absolutely fine. After this, we have Celerity Cunning, which is going to give us attack speed, which is going to allow us to lock in and deal that damage or start shooting them blades a lot faster. Then we have Quiver. The reason I have this here is because it's going to give us mag capacity, which is really nice. It's going to get us up quite a little bit, not too much, but hey, having more, ammo in the mag is going to be kind of nice. We have Celerity for the same reason, more attack speed. Then we have Dexterity for reload speed. Guys, this weapon reloads kind of slow. It's a big chunker pizza cutter, so having a little bit of reload speed is kind of nice. It's going to allow you to get them saw blades running real quick. And then on top of that, we have Stall. Now this is a very interesting mod to have in here, because you might look at it and be like, why would I want to put something that gives me negative projectile speed? Well, it's simple. If the saw blades travel slower, it's going to allow you to have a bigger uptime and allow you to deal more damage. That's why Fafnir's Stall is right here. So it's a pretty damn good mod here. And then we have Fafnir's Arrow for more maxed ammo. Another very nice mod to have on this build. This is the burst comp. You can actually do a little bit of a different comp with this, where instead of going for the max ammo, you put a little bit of trigger probability, which you're already going to have some if you're running like the MC with you. And then you would put, let me see if I find this mod, you would put Carefree, which upon triggering bonus effects, there's a 30% chance to reload 1 bullet. So it's going to allow you to have a little bit more uptime in longer fights, like if you're clearing theater and things like that, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now that you guys saw exactly what this weapon does and what it brings to the table, Why is it so good with so many different characters? I know y'all saw the clips at the very beginning, but some people will simply still not get it. For some characters, they have abilities that revolve around, ranged weapons, right? Skills like this, Deadly Blossom. When under the influence of laceration, every time the enemy takes ranged weapon damage from Lyn, the lacerated wound count is increased by 1. And then if we tie that up with this one, the Unforgivable immediately removes laceration and deals damage once the lacerated wound count is reached at its maximum. You guys will understand why this weapon works so well with Lyn. It's going to enable her to get that off a lot faster, and it's going to enable her to deal that much more damage. But that's not only the character that actually works really well with them. I'm sure there's a lot more. So far I've only tested 2 or 3, but the only other character that I instantly saw like an amazing increase to the gameplay was none other than Liz Bell. Now, for those of you that don't know, Liz Bell is going to work around her combo counter. The higher her combo counter, the more damage she's going to deal, and the higher her numbers are going to be when she does her Unga Bunga slams. Now, this might take a little bit of time to build up sometimes. You might be out here, taking a little bit of sweet time building up that combo counter. I don't know if you saw at the very beginning of the video, but with the pizza cutter, you can instantly jump to max counter within a couple of seconds at most. Sometimes you shoot out your saw blades, and by the time you go into her ultimate Excalibur mode, you will instantly already be at max combo counter, enable you to do some insane damage and some insane burst very, very quickly. So when you look at this weapon for characters like this, you will understand why this weapon is so damn interesting, and I'm sure some people will figure out more combos with a lot of the other characters on the roster, because like I'm telling you, this is a very weird, unique, and gimmicky weapon. Now, if you're wondering where you get this weapon, you gotta go to Nocturnal Echoes. I know, a lot of people hate that some of the weapons that are kind of interesting and kind of good and kind of cracked with a lot of characters come from Nocturnal Echoes. But hey, it is what it is. Just farm like 2 of these, and you'll get it. You don't got to worry about it. Now, you get this from the Crystalophile. Weird name, bro. But here you can see that you get the gun, the Gyutsu Ratchet. And yes, I was grinding it a little bit more, but I ran out of attempts. And once again, it's a very interesting weapon. Overall, it's one of those things that you might not think of right off the top of your head, because one, is not a weapon that characters like Lyn recommends, right? Great sword and dual pistols. And two, because when you first look at it, it's kind of weird. Nonetheless, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know what other characters you guys have found that work with this weapon, or let me know in the comments if you have found another very weird weapon that works kind of interesting with a lot of characters. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.